This is Goals with Soul, the podcast for visionary coaches and entrepreneurs, building your business with inspired action. In alignment with your mission and authentic message, so you can create impact for your soul clients and feel lit up every day. I'm your host, Jo Ingram, married mum of 3 daughters from London and a former ad agency director turned business coach and strategist. In Goals with Soul, we blend revenue generation with energetics, marketing strategies with pranic healing, and ambitious business goals with our soul's desires. If you're looking to build your business with less efforting and more ease, this is the podcast for you. Let's dive in. Welcome to Goals with Soul. I'm Joanna Ingram, and today we're going to deep dive into the essentials of becoming a recognised thought leader in your industry. And we're going to explore how you can amplify your impact and attract premium clients by effectively expressing your unique expertise. But before we dive in, let's just take a moment to think about why it's so important to be perceived and indeed be a thought leader in your industry. Isn't it enough just to show up every day, just to create content that helps people and do transformative work that truly brings light into this world? Well, I know if you're listening to this, then that's exactly what you do. You do amazing work. But here's the rub. Sometimes doing amazing work isn't enough to get you booked with the clients that you most want to work with, those premium clients that show up, appreciate and value the work that you do and get the best, most remarkable outcomes. Cutting through that online chatter and the immense crowded spaces that we exist in online, no matter what your specialism or area of coaching or healing, so many people are trying to occupy the space. Many people will be sharing how-to content where they want to try and give value and show people exactly how. I mean, a good example is I'm going to teach you the exact ways of doing this breath that will help you open your mind and bring in your intuition. Now, sounds helpful, and of course, all of us have watched content like that in the past. But here's the problem. The person that originates that content doesn't put themselves forward as a thought leader. And the issue here is that only as that thought leader and being seen as that expert do you evoke the high levels of trust and authority and exemplify your credentials in a way that allows those most premium, high-level, high-frequency clients to want to work with you. Oftentimes, if you're putting out different types of content where you're not positioning yourselves as a thought leader, you may be attracting clients, but perhaps those clients you're attracting are those that aren't at the level that you most want to work with. They may be the ones that leave you drained after sessions, that have a lot of price objections, that lead you to keeping your prices low or discounting your prices regularly. And they are also the clients that, whilst may get benefits from working with you, don't necessarily get the most outstanding results that you know your work is capable of achieving for the right kinds of clients. Now, standing out as a thought leader doesn't start when you have a successful podcast or a book or a TED Talk, although you may desire all of those things. And of course, why not? Why not you? But being a thought leader doesn't start with having those things. It starts right here, right now, expressing yourself and helping your ideal clients have aha moments. Let me explain. Too many talented, driven, intuitive coaches and healers see the outward expression of success as the end game, like that book, the one you keep meaning to start writing, or the podcast that's been in your vortex for the last year or more. Although assets like books, like podcasts and talks are excellent authority vehicles to showcase your talents, showcase your authority, they are not themselves the pathway to expertise. You see, you are already a walking, talking expert. And you can leverage your immense talents through the marketing channels that you're already using. Yeah, the ones you're currently using. Not saying, when I've got a YouTube channel, then I'll be perceived as an expert. Whatever channels you're currently using, your Instagram, your email list, whatever, simply your personal Facebook page, this is where you can attract prospective clients. They're drawn to your words and want to work with you. Now, I teach several critical ways to help you articulate your unique brilliance and attract premium clients with my RAD3 messaging system. You can learn all about that in my free masterclass, How to Articulate the Value of Your Intuitive Brilliance to Attract Energetically Aligned Clients Consistently, even if you felt drained or undervalued by mismatched clients in the past. The link to that is joannaingram.link/free masterclass. However, right now, I want to zero in on a little known area that's too often skipped altogether, as most brand messaging specialists or business coaches that you might have come across in the past don't realize its immense thought leadership power. And that area is your opinions. We've all got them, right? Except we don't all express them. And sometimes we don't even realize we've got opinions. We're not clear what the right opinions are. We're not clear how to express those opinions, particularly in the context of business, because it's a minefield. And, we come with so many limiting beliefs and fears around standing out, or around the fear of being put in our place, of criticism, of conflict. But when you leverage your opinions effectively, not just any opinions, but the ones affecting your clients, your industry, and the pathway to the outcomes that these perfect match clients want most, is a complete game changer for how you're perceived and therefore the clients that you attract. What you need to do is express opinions that demonstrate your method or process or framework is the solution that your clients need, and that they are otherwise misdirected into avenues that suck their time and their money and energy. And many of them have already experienced this. Now, this is why in pretty much the first or second session I do with all my clients, we outline a lot of the ways that clients have been misdirected, where your clients have tried to get answers but haven't given them the outcomes that they want. And of course, the reason is because that those answers aren't the ones that will get them the full expression of the results they desire. And that, of course, is answered by your method. When you express these opinions, they become the backbone of what you're known for. And they create this powerful thought leader energy that resonates with your audience, drawing them to you and, importantly, your unique approach. So let me give you an example. So my client is a talented growth specialist. She uses data analysis to optimize her clients' pipelines and offers. When we work together, I helped her devise her critical industry opinions and link them to her exact scaling method. Now, I'll give you an example. Came up with this idea that many of her clients were misdirected by their behavior of fire and forget. Now, you might be familiar with this. It's where you test something. It might be a launch. It might be a new pipeline generation piece or a new lead magnet. And you never really analyze what happened and why. And for all of us and in the whole industry, this is an enormous leaky bucket. Now, my client believes and has proven that you can triple your income simply by focusing on your data and optimizing your marketing and your offers. And that is, of course, precisely what her method does. Now, you can see how clearly we've articulated both the misdirection and the absolute correct, appropriate route that they need to take instead, which will be expanded on when she explains more about her method, which of course she does. We also saw that many industry experts are talking about scaling. You see it all the time. They talk about growing your business. But here's the thing, not everyone is ready. And they're not distinguishing between those who are absolutely ready and it's their essential next step, and those who may be following a scaling methodology but failing because they don't understand that they're not yet at the right stage. So they fail, they feel depleted, deflated, they want to give up. Instead, as we articulated for my client, you need to use your existing data to determine when you'll be ready. And importantly, what to put in place now so that you can fast track your pathway to scaling successfully. And of course, this is precisely what her method does. We went on to create a number of these. And as she talks about these more and more in her content, she creates a thought leadership around the idea of scaling. So people trust her expertise to not only help them scale, but to help identify whether they're ready for scaling in the first place. You get the idea. The first one is a common mistake, and the second one's an example of a misleading idea that others in the industry may be following to their detriment. Both of them flow into the solution my client has for folks at each of these stages of growth. And therefore, she's creating sales. And in fact, since our work together, this client's filled her group program with her clients paying between $10,000 and $20,000 and continues to build an engaged following of over 80,000. So we know that having and expressing thought leader opinions is vital to becoming known for your expertise. It's not just about writing a book or giving a TED talk. It's about making your mark in your industry and being seen as an authority. And let's be honest, if having that TED talk, writing that book, starting that podcast is on your heart and in your vortex, the articulation of what you're going to say in those amazing assets is going to become all that more clear and more powerful. However, I have found that women like us, talented, driven, and intuitive, are also prone to overthinking. Yeah, which leads to a lot of frustration when we're trying to formulate and articulate everything when it comes to the messaging and particularly our opinions. And at the same time, we know, perhaps you know, you're not available for months of procrastination and delay, and of course the potential revenue plateaus that that's related to. And that's why clients work with me to fast track the identification and expression of their powerful and profitable opinions, which includes my full review of their signature offer, which includes their curriculum and their promise, and the development or iteration of their unique proven framework so they can express their expertise and authority in a way that cuts through the online chatter and calls to their premium clients. I do that specific opinion work in my longer term engagements of 3 or 6 months, and I also get the ball rolling in my 4-week intensive. So if you regularly create content and speak to other people's audiences as a guest expert, perhaps doing podcast interviews or summits, or want to, elevating your position to industry leadership is your opportunity to shine and deliver more of your transformational work to the clients you most want to work with. I'm accepting new clients right now. You can email me, joe@iamjoeingram.com, or message me over on Instagram @iamjoe.ingram if you're interested in working together. I also create and edit content elements for you as part of my longer term services, and you can find all the details in the show notes. Have an inspired action week. Take care. Bye now.